going on YouTube? I'm over here in the middle of, I don't even know what the name of this area is. It's in between Eureka and Palmer. Just decided to get the motorcycle out for a little while. They had the aviation gathering in Palmer. Just an amazing time. Hey, I'm so sorry I haven't been putting out any videos whatsoever. I've been super busy with my new job. Finally done with training, thank God. Finally flying the line, flying to some beautiful places. Anyway, everybody's been asking for an update, so I figured I'd give one. So hang tight, I got an update coming your way. All right, YouTube, so I've heard from probably about 12 to 15 people since our last video. Today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that are watching. It's Sunday the 8th of May, 2022. So here's the update that I have. I've talked to a lot of people and they all have very similar stories, and one lady's stating she even called and talked to Canada. So basically, here's the deal. Yes, you can go across if you're unvaccinated still. They haven't changed that. It's basically reverting back to what the old ways were. So what'll happen is when you get to the border, they're going to require the COVID test. There's a place in Great Falls. I'm going to put the information in the comments. I just spoke with 3 different people that use this company. It's $150. That to me seems quite expensive, but anyway, $150 for the PCR rapid test, and supposedly they did not require a wait like I was hearing from other people. So I think it's calmed down quite a bit with the Canada only requiring it for the unvaccinated. So let me break it down to this. If you're vaccinated, you can go tour around Canada, have a great time. You just do the Arrive Canada app, enter your vaccine card, put where you're going to go. They won't mess with you at all. Super easy. If you are unvaccinated, then the only way Canada will allow you in is if you're moving to Alaska, if you're coming up here for work or moving up here, or you're returning home. So like me, if I'm a resident here, I couldn't drive south unvaccinated, but I could fly down and drive something back up because I'd be returning home, if that makes sense. So that's that. So basically, from what everybody's telling me is they show up at the border, they have their Arrive Canada app already filled out. If you haven't watched my videos before, basically I do videos about driving through Canada with this communist, I call it communist, with this communist setup they have now, to Alaska. So now if you are vaccinated, it's really easy. Don't let it intimidate you at all. If you're unvaccinated, it's still easy. Just make sure you have your documents. So that it's going to revert back to the same way it's been throughout the whole 2 years. And so basically, it's going to be, you need to prove that you're moving up here. You need to prove what you do with your house in the lower 48, prove where you're moving to, what house you're moving to. I've recommended to a lot of people just to literally simply come up here and get your driver's license first, fly your guns up. It's a real pain dealing with those folks and guns. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. I flew all mine up. I just spoke with another gentleman that was moving up here. He was in law enforcement, and he was moving up here for a law enforcement job in Fairbanks. And he had like AR magazines, which a lot of us, I mean, God knows I know I got plenty of those, but I flew them all up. I didn't drive them across. I didn't even take so much. I only took bear spray. That's it. So anyway, they found his mags. So when he declared his guns, they decided to search. And this was even in Couts, Alberta. So they searched all of his stuff. They seized his vehicle, his stuff. They detained him, and they charged him 1,500 Canadian US dollars for having the 2 AR magazines and for having a can of pepper spray. You can have bear spray, but not pepper spray. Just complete communism, in my opinion. That place is so crazy. But anyway, that's what I've been saying all along. It's just so much easier just to fly your guns up. I recommend just take a couple flights. That's what it takes. Pay the extra bag fees, whatever. I mean, at one time I had a big bow and arrow case that I put like 8 guns in and brought up at once, and the TSA didn't even balk at it. So as long as it's in a lock case with TSA, TSA locks, you're good to go. And of course, declare it. You can take it as checked luggage. So, he stayed in Dawson Creek, Northern Rockies Lodge, which I highly recommend. I'm going to put their information in the description as well. There's something, I've been recommending Northern Rockies Lodge for the last 2 years, since 2.5 years. I absolutely love that place. To me, it's the best place to stop on the whole route. So, it's in between Fort Nelson and Whitehorse. Now, they've got their own restaurant that I highly recommend. I mean, I'm a fat kid. I love to eat. And after driving all day, I like to have a nice cocktail or a nice beer a decent dinner, and I'm very big on breakfast. And my parents were watching this, they would laugh because they know I ain't messing around when it comes to breakfast time. I want a full course breakfast. I don't want powdered eggs. I don't want the whole day's in breakfast. I want a full breakfast. Well, these people are, so basically you buy a meal package from them, and I don't remember the cost. I think it's around $50 a person. So it's always just being me and my wife. But that includes a full course dinner, and it includes your breakfast as well. And it's a really good breakfast and a really good meal, and I'm talking full course. There's no restaurant within 300 miles of either side of the place. They have to fly in and truck in all the ingredients. And you're in a beautiful setting. It's a great home cooked meal. It's not like some kind of Cisco type crap. It's a real quality food place. So to me, it's worth the $50. But I heard from one of the gentlemen today that he thought it was too high, and I get that. In all reality, that is pretty high, especially if you're from, I think he was from Texas or somewhere. Hang on a minute, you got to see this. That's Alaska. That's why I moved here, aviation. Anyway, you know, I'm from Georgia, so that's super high for Georgia prices. But when you live in Alaska, $50 for a full course dinner and breakfast, that's pretty reasonable. I mean, it's not too bad, especially considering the location. I mean, these lodges I go out to sometimes for work are literally $350 a night just to rent one little room out in the lodges in Alaska. So in saying that, you know, to me, it's reasonable. My parents would think it's astronomically high because they live in Alabama, where that is very high. So with that being said, I definitely, you know, that's up to you. I'll throw that out there. I wanted to give that piece of information. But from what I'm hearing, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people. Not one person's been held back as long as they can prove. So it's going to be the same thing. So you're going to pull up to the I recommend crossing in Couts. They still seem to be the easiest to deal with. But wherever you cross, you're going to pull up. If you're unvaccinated, you are going to need to use one of the original 4 crossings from what I'm told. Couts is by far, or Coots is by far the best, in my opinion. You pull up there. It's just north of Great Falls, Montana. You pull up. Before you get there, have the Arrive Canada app. In the app, it's going to ask where you're going to quarantine in the event that you come down with COVID-19. Just use a hotel in Dawson Creek or Grand Prairie, wherever. Just make a hotel name up and address. I mean, just come up with one. They'll tell you to do the same thing because the app don't follow the loophole that we fall into by coming to Alaska. They don't want you quarantine in there. They want you to keep going. They're going to tell you can't get out of your vehicle. They're going to tell you that you have to pay at the pump. You can't even pee, I guess, because you have to pay at the pump. They're going to tell you can't go into restaurants. They're going to tell you got to wear a mask the whole time, and they're going to tell you all this stuff. Just say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, whatever the case may be. Okay, okay, okay. And then when you cross the border, just be yourself is my advice. I did that the entire pandemic that I was coming up through there. I haven't had to come up through there recently, but I did that the whole time. I went out to eat dinner every night like a normal human being. Like I said, I'm a fat kid. I like to eat. I went out and ate dinner normal. I went and had breakfast normal. If I had to pee, I'd pump my gas. I'd walk in the gas station just like a normal. No one knows if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. And that's another good news I have to bring to everybody is they're not checking that anymore. So as the border is, let me back up on that. The border is, but the restaurants are not. So you're not going to have any problems actually going out and getting something to eat like a normal human being, from what I'm being told. I've been told that by several people all within the last week or so. So that is the good news. And they're going to give you a hang tag, just like they always gave us. And yours, it's going to say Alaska. And you put it on your mirror. And truly, you know, don't do crazy crap like go see Banff and all that stuff. They truly want you to take the most direct route. I do recommend doing that. The people that got caught were the ones that were doing, you know, going and riding chairlifts at Banff and this, that, and the other. How they would catch you now, I don't know, but it ain't worth it. It's not worth it at all. So that's my advice, is fly your guns up here. Fly your bullets up here. Don't take body armor if you're in law enforcement. Fly that up here. You can take ammunition. You can take a gun if you're registered. But man, it's such a pain. You're pretty well guaranteed to get searched, it sounds like. And it's just so much easier. Pull up there. Nope, I don't have any guns. Here we go. And they're very lenient about food that you bring. I recommend for the 3 nights, I recommend through Canada, they're going to give you 5 to 6 nights, depending on the border agent, depending on where you cross. If you crossed at Portal, I think they give you 6, which is more than enough. I recommend Grand Prairie or Dawson Creek, one of the 2 cities. I always personally use the Hampton Inn in Grand Prairie. I loved it. It's a really good place. God, I can't think of the name of the restaurant, but I can look all that up. I have PDFs on all that. If you want to email me, bigskyblessing@gmail.com. Anyway, I can email you all the information, but I recommend the Hampton Inn. Super, super nice. And normally I don't even, Normally I'm not a crazy Hampton Inn guy, but that one's really, really nice. And then Northern Rockies Lodge, to me, is by far the best stop on the whole highway. I haven't sent anyone there that didn't like it. Everybody liked it. I have had 2 people complain about how expensive the food is. It is expensive, but like I said, location and it's quality. You're not getting junk from Cisco. And then White Horse is back open for business, so wherever hotel you can find a White Horse. And there's a lot of really nice restaurants. Go out, have a couple of beers, whatever you do, hot tea, whatever it is you're into, and just relax, enjoy yourself, and really enjoy the trip. It's a really fun trip. No one's going to be harassing you. And then when you go to leave Canada in Beaver Creek, you're going to see a place to check out. You hand them the checkout slip, you know, the thing you had hanging from your mirror. They're going to probably give you something with your passport, at least they were doing that. You give that to them, and then you go to the U.S., and it's non-event. So it's super easy. If you're unvaccinated and you're moving up here to Alaska, it's not a big deal. Everything's still going smooth, just like it always has been. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your scenarios. Everybody's telling me gas stations are open. Now, there are places that gas is really, really limited. And when you're pulling a trailer, for example, I've got a Subaru Outback that gets almost 30 miles a gallon. We pulled a U-Haul trailer up here with it, and it got 12 miles a gallon. So take into account that whatever your vehicles get, when you're pulling something, you're putting stuff on the roof, you're going to decrease that gas mileage. I'm one of these, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I personally bring about 20 gallons worth of gas, but I'm one of these overachievers. So do you need to do that? You don't have to, but that's what I've always done. I think one of the gentlemen I talked to this morning, he took 5 gallons, said he never used it. So I plan mine out. I use my 20 gallons to my advantage. I'll fill that up in Montana, and I plan that out. I actually use some of it at Northern Rockies Lodge, and then I'll fill up right before I get into Watson Lake. There's a little hole-in-the-wall truck stop on the left. It's the cheapest place. You're going to see a sign that says cheapest gas, and you're going to think, yeah, right, it really is, by the way. So great little mom-and-pop truck stop. I stop there. I fill those cans back up that I use at Northern Rockies Lodge, and then I'll stop again right before I get into Beaver Creek, because it's like $8 a gallon back when I was coming through there in Beaver Creek. Now, God knows how much it is with the way things are. Anyway, that's pretty well all I have. Everything seems to be running really, really smooth for everyone that's going through there. Like I said, if you're vaccinated, you can take 3 months if you want to cross, or I don't know how long they give you, but you can take your time. Take all the time you want. If you're vaccinated, it's going to be super easy. If you're unvaccinated, it's still going to be easy, but you still need to make the most direct route. They're going to tell you all this. Don't get out of the car. Don't do, drive straight. I've had people, there's literally been people died in the last 2 years because they took these people so serious. My mom would have been one of them. She follows the rules to the T. So be a little bit of a rebel. That's my advice. Once you cross the border, you're never going to see these people again. And just enjoy your drive. That's and don't bring weapons. Don't do anything stupid. Don't give any reason for these people to give you any kind of hard time. Canada used to be the most amazing country, one of my absolute favorites. It's complete communism now, in my opinion. Hopefully it'll get better. So someone was telling me, Canadians, if they're not vaccinated, they can't even leave the country. And I'm like, no, that's not right. That's conspiracy theory stuff, And to me, there's so much misinformation on the right and on the left, and I'm about as neutral as it gets. I try to be like Switzerland. I don't want to be just neutral, but I was like, yeah, no, that's not right. I got to look into it. That's true. They literally cannot leave the country if they're unvaccinated unless they're in a private aircraft or they're medevaced. It's crazy. So, like, if they want to go to Mexico would let them in without a vaccine. I do a lot of videos in Mexico. I go to Mexico quite a bit. I actually hope to be moving down there in about a year. So, Mexico does tons of, come on in, we want you for how you are. But in Canada, even if it was like, say, Aeromexico or Volaris or one of the ones that fly from Mexico to Canada, I researched all the regs and stuff, and sure as crap, you actually got to be freaking vaccinated so that they have to require it even getting on a Mexican airline. The only way out of it is it can't be one of the airports that they have on their list. So like me, if I had a private airplane, I could come through there unvaccinated. And I could leave unvaccinated in a private airplane from a private field or something like that. It's there is a loophole, and a medevac is the other loophole. And I'd be getting the heck out of there if I was in Canada. But, all right, I know we went a little long. Hey, do me a favor. Please, in the comments, write to me, what would you like to see on the next video? What information do you want to see? Do you want to see more about lodging, more about gas? I personally haven't been through there in almost a year now. But I'm hearing from a lot of people. And please, if you're going to go, write me bigSkyBlessing@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. And please put in the comments what you want to see next. I do these videos for you. My passion is doing videos in Mexico, and also I really would love to get into doing some more aviation videos. I've got a lot of cool aviation stuff. I never dreamed I'd be doing videos about how to avoid the Canadian communism coming to Alaska. I never thought that would be my niche, but I seem to get more traction on YouTube with that than anything. I don't do this for money. I do it because I like helping people, and I've met a lot of really cool people doing this. So please, I do these videos for you. Please tell me what you want, and how about give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and thank you so much for everyone that watched. And I just would love to hear from you, and we'll get you whatever content you want. All right, thank you so much. Once again, happy Mother's Day. And I'm gonna jump back on this beast and go. Look how beautiful it is here. I'm just at this little campground. Still a little chilly here. And there's a little river, and just a beautiful place. I'm gonna jump back on my motorcycle, go spend some time with Christina. Thank God we don't have kids. I never wanted kids. I don't like kids from a distance. No, I don't even like them from a distance. There's a few kids I like. I like kids that behave. But anyway, I'm not much of a kid person, but I love being around my wife. My wife's my best friend. So I'm gonna jump back on my motorcycle, go spend some time with her. And I look forward to hearing from you all, and we'll see you on the road. All right, thank you.